Hi guys, it is our favorite time of the month and it is time for my January TBR. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the books I plan to read for January. And by the way, my name is Shelby. I always forget to do that because I assume that y'all know who I am. But if you're new here, you don't know that I am Shelby. You just know that the channel's name is Shelby in the Book Club. I need to do better at that. Anyway, if you have seen the video prior to this, which was my 2022 reading goals video, you know that I plan to read 75 books this year. God willing, and the creek don't rise. Which means that I should be reading about 6 to 7 books a month to reach that goal, which is going to be super challenging. And you also know that I plan to do the A to Z challenge. So today we will talk about what letters we matched up for the A to Z challenge, and then I'm going to go through all 7 of them. 7? Do I have 7 books here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we have 7 books. And we'll go through the 7 books. So where do I start? We're going to start with the book club pick of the month, which is Will by Will Smith. Also written with Mark Manson as well. So this is his memoir biography. I'm super excited to read this. I have been a Will Smith fan basically my entire life. Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Men in Black, The Wild Wild West was my jam. Never really been a big fan of his music. Nope. But him as a actor, as a person up until recently, because I feel like I know too much of him and his wife's business, but that's another video for another time. I was really excited about this. I've heard really good things about the book. I've heard that there are a lot of gems in here. I heard that he was very vulnerable. All things that are important for a good book, but just in telling a story. I think we hold celebrities up on such a high pedestal, and then they release their books, and then we realize, oh, they're just people. They're just people that work really hard, that do a bunch of really amazing things, but they are just people. So super excited to read this. This is a book club pick. Now, some of you may know, or you may not know, that I have a Patreon group. It is basically like the book club's VIP section. We have a separate book club. They get all sorts of announcements and content first. We have Zoom meetings where we hang out, and all sorts of things. And they get to vote on what book they want to read every month. So for the month of January, we are reading as The Wicked Watch by Tamron Hall. I watch Tamron Hall every day. It wasn't on purpose at first. At first it was just because that's what channel the TV was on in the living room, and that's where my desk is. And my coworker, y'all hear him barking, he liked to watch Tamron Hall, so that's what we watch while I'm working, and usually he sleep, but he liked that lady, so that's what he do. So this is a thriller, and it sounds like somebody trying to get in here. I'm busy though, so they're gonna have to wait. This will count as A, and will count as W for the A to Z challenge. So we're off to a good start here. But this one is a thriller. So it's about a reporter who leaves her hometown in Texas to go to Chicago, and she's really good at her job. But then there is this murder of a young Black girl that kind of has a hold on her, and she wants to, you know, put the missing Black women in the spotlight that they usually wouldn't get. So it sounds really interesting to me, and I believe Tamron Hall said that it was based off of an actual case that she covered while she was a reporter or a journalist on TV. So I'm really interested. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on that one, but it sounds super interesting. So we is gonna read it. So if you want to be a part of that Zoom discussion for that particular book, you can join the Patreon. The link will be in the underneath a bar, and we would love to have you. So next is The Teller of Secrets by BC Ajapon. So I'm a part of a challenge called #MoreThanAChallenge that my friend Hannah is hosting. I will put her Bookstagram on the screen so that you guys can go follow her. But she, like myself, is really big on diversifying everyone's reading. So she wanted me to pick a book, and this is the book that I picked because it sounds super interesting. So it says, young Essie is the unofficial secret keeper of her family, as tight-lipped about her father's adultery as she is about her half-sister's sex lives. But after she is humiliated and punished for her own sexual exploration, Essie begins to question why women's secrets and men's secrets bear different consequences. It is the beginning of a journey of discovery that will lead her to unexpected places. As she navigates her womanhood, Essie tries to reconcile her own ideals and dreams with her family's complicated past and troubled present, as well as society's many double standards that limit her and other women against a fraught political climate. Essie fights to carve out her own identity and learns to manifest her power in surprising and inspiring ways. So I thought it was really interesting. It's written by a woman that is, I believe she's Nigerian and Ghanaian, and she currently lives in Ghana, I think. So it sounded really interesting. And I thought it would be the perfect girl power reading diversity type of book. So next on the list, we have God of Mercy. I'm really looking forward to reading this because this, one, it counts as the letter G. So there's that. We got our 3 letters for the month of January. And this counts as a fantasy, I believe. Fiction, religious, Nigerian fiction, magic realist fiction. So it has some magical realism, fairy tales, folk tales, sort of thing. So it says, in the village of Ichulu, the people's worship of their gods and adherence to tradition has allowed them to evade the tyranny of the white ones. But the village is reckoning with changes, including a war between gods, signaled by Igioma, a girl who can fly. In nearby Etuodi, maybe, where the white ones prevailed in battle, and Umuka, where the people sued for peace, their Igbo traditions, or Igbo traditions, have been replaced by the laws and customs of foreign gods. As tensions grow between Ichulu and its neighboring villages, Igioma finds herself taking care of Jekwu, a child cursed to be born with a mouthful of teeth. Forced into exile for transgressions against the gods, she is imprisoned by a Christian church under the accusation of being a witch. Reckoning with her powers and suffering through isolation, she comes to understand the truth of merciful love. It sounds interesting. I feel like it's going to give me my fantasy magical realism kick that I've been looking for. So there's that. I'm super excited. Next we have, this was a total impulse buy, and I think this might be considered a romance. Let's see. Contemporary woman, cultural heritage, family life, fiction. So no. Okay, whatever. But we can count this for S2. I just don't want to use everything up in the first couple of months, so maybe we'll just do As the Wicked Watch, God of Mercy, and The Teller of Secrets for this month. In this one. I don't know. Or maybe we'll include all of them. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. So The Stationery Shop by Marjan Kamali. Can you guys see that, or is it being washed out? So this one, total impulse buy. I watch a booktuber. Her channel is called This Story Ain't Over. Lovely girl. I love her book choices. And she raved about this as one of her favorites for 2021. So I just had to go buy it. So it says, Roya, a dreamy, idealistic teenager living amid the political upheaval of 1953 Tehran, finds a literary oasis in kindly Mr. Fahiri's neighborhood stationery shop, stocked with books and pens and bottles of jewel-colored ink. Then Mr. Fahiri, with a keen instinct for a budding romance, introduces her to one of his favorite customers, handsome Bahman, who has a burning passion for justice and a love for Rumi's poetry, and Roya loses her heart at once. Their relationship blossoms, and the little stationery shop remains their favorite place of all in Tehran. A few short months later, on the eve of their marriage, Roya agrees to meet Bahman at the town square, but suddenly violence erupts, a result of the coup that forever changes the country's future. In the chaos, Bahman never shows. For weeks, Roya tries desperately to contact him, but her efforts are fruitless. Reluctantly, she moves on to college in California, to another man, to a life in New England, until a chance encounter nearly 60 years later gives her the opportunity to ask him the questions that have haunted her for more than a half a century. Why did you leave? Where did you go? How was it that you were able to forget me? Oh, I'm gonna cry. I know it to be so. Oh, they not about to have me. Oh my God. She thought he was dead. Let me gather myself for a second. You know, men are terrible and bad. Anyway, the next on the list is In Every Mirror She's Black. So this one is by Lola Akimandi Ackerstrom. These names, baby, they be making me pull out my hooked on phonics in my head. Like, sound it out, girl. It's just one letter at a time. Trying to remember what the letters sound like. Anyway, successful marketing executive Kenny Adeyemi is lured from the U.S. to Sweden by Johnny Van Luden, CEO of the nation's largest marketing firm, to help fix a PR fiasco involving a radically tone-deaf campaign. A killer at work, but a failure in love. Same girl. Kimmy's move is a last-ditch effort to reclaim her social life. A chance meeting with Johnny in business class en route to the U.S. propels former model turned flight attendant Brittany Ray Johnson into a life of wealth, luxury, and privilege, a life she's not sure she wants, as the object of his unhealthy obsession. In refuge, Muna Saheed, who lost her entire family, finds a job cleaning toilets at Johnny's office as she works to establish her residency in Sweden, and more importantly, seeks connection and a place she can call home. Told through the perspectives of each of the three women, In Every Mirror She's Black is a fast-paced, richly nuanced, contemporary social novel that explores the deepest depths of what it means to be a Black woman navigating a white-dominated society. I'm really hoping that this one is a good one, because this is a topic that is something that needs to be spoken about. So I really hope that it's as good as it sounds. And then last but certainly not least, we have The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. Now, this is a part of a series. I believe the series is complete. So if I like it, I can kind of just fly through. But my goal is to leave this as the last book, like the last book of the month, because I don't want to be caught up and ditch the rest of everything because I want to fly through this. So this is like last week of the month. This is what I plan to read. But reason I want to read it is because I just been craving fantasy ever since ever since I read The Rage of Dragons. Like, I want more. I want more fantasy. I want more good fantasy. Like, The Rage of Dragons was effing amazing. Oh my god. Okay, so this says, when destiny calls, there's no fighting back. Message. Kyron grew up in the slums of Core, I guess. A thief and a minstrel son, raised on tales of long-lost princes and magnificent quests. When he is claimed against his will as the missing son of a treasonous prince, Kyron finds himself at the mercy of his new family's ruthless power plays and political ambitions. Practically a prisoner, Kyron discovers that being a long-lost prince is nothing like what storybooks promised. The storybooks have lied about a lot of other things too. Dragons, demons, gods, prophecies, true love, and how the hero always wins. Then again, maybe he isn't the hero after all, for Kyron is not destined to save the empire. He's destined to destroy it. This sounds like my kind of carrying on, and it's a thickums. It's 540 something pages, so it's a thick book. But yeah, that's what my January TBR is. I'm super excited to read all of these books. Y'all let me know what y'all are reading, if any of these sound interesting to you, or if you plan to add them to your TBR later on. And if nobody has told you today, I love you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.